That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to Milford Township Municipal Building and the monthly Planning Commission meeting. At this time, I call the meeting of July the 5th, 2022 to order. All please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you haven't yet, please sign the sheet in the back.
Depends.
I guess it's on behind the young lady for the record, for your attendance record. Before we begin, I'll call for motion to accept the minutes of last month's meeting as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Milford Planning Commission is a recommending body that hears testimony, asks and answers questions, deliberates and passes our recommendations on to the Milford supervisors who make the final decisions on issues brought before us. The subdivision discussed tonight, if acted on by the Planning Commission, will be considered by the Township Supervisors at their regular meeting to be held on Tuesday, July the 12th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. in this room. The sketch plan discussed tonight will be heard by the Township Supervisors at their regular meeting to be held on Tuesday, July 26th at 5:30 p.m. in this room. The first item on the agenda tonight is for Montagna subdivision. It's a subdivision plan to show the creation of parcel 4A, a .06 acre lot from 5717 Vicky Court with a residual lot of .25 acres. Parcel 4A is to become an integral part of 5731 Vicky Court, located along the east line of Vicky Court, south of West 57th Street and track 343. Sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is John Laird. I'm with David Laird Associates, Surveying and Engineering, 1557 West 26th Street in Erie. The plan you have before you tonight is a plan that is set forth to resolve an issue regarding an existing driveway. This existing driveway issue is not a new issue. It's an issue actually that we have a survey in our records from 1974 when Mr. Montagna built the house. We did a survey to show that the concrete driveway was over and prepared a drawing that deeds were supposed to be prepared from to transfer the property and eliminate this encroachment. The woman who owns the house that has the encroachment, or whose driveway is encroaching, I should say, came into our office about a year ago and said, my neighbor, I just have a new neighbor move in for the first time, and he says my driveway's over my property line. So we went through our records, I searched through them, and found this old survey, and I said, well, I think it was meant to be corrected, but it never got corrected. So we have been hired by the two property owners to resolve the issue, and that is the plan you see before you tonight, is to try to resolve the concrete encroaching, the driveway encroaching across the property line. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you.
So this was just a mistake by the developer?
Mistake when they
Not to
put it in.
mention any names? Okay.
Yep. Wow. Many moons ago.
Yeah, many months.
All right.
Anybody have any? Okay, that needs to become, that slice there, it needs to become an integral part of the
Correct.
property,
Yes, this piece
that
will be
property,
done.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
correct.
Okay. Okay, no questions at all? Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time.
The other issue tonight
Oh,
is
Mr. Chairman.
Popeyes. I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Chairman.
Anyone else care to say anything about this? Is that what you were?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Anybody else care to say anything about that? Okay. It's a good idea we do it.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Anytime
other
soon.
item on the agenda tonight is for Popeyes. It is a sketch land development plan showing the construction of a drive-through eating and drinking establishment with associated stormwater management and parking facilities at the northwest corner of Marmon Drive and Peach Street in the Hilltop at Kearsarge track. Someone here, ma'am, please. Name and address.
Good
Real Estate, and we are here to present the sketch plan for Popeyes on behalf of the owner, who lives in Florida.
Okay.
And I know the big issue is ingress and egress, so we would definitely like to address that with everyone.
Is that microphone on?
Yeah.
Microphone?
Tap
Is
that
the
mic-
Something into
microphone-
the microphone. Say hello.
Testing,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That's better.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Let's get over.
Okay. Are you done? You,
I am done. I'm ready to answer any questions or see how we could
okay,
answer questions of folks here that would like to comment.
we have seen this exact plan before,
Yes, you have.
and the same issues that we had at that time still exist. Nothing has changed on any traffic patterns as far as the state goes with the two highways that intersect at the corner of Peach and Interchange Road. And back in, or not back in June here, towards the end of June, the township did a road count, vehicle count of vehicles on the roads, both Spires and Marmon. And then also access, the access way right now into what is the Mattress Firm, which would become the one way into, also into Popeyes. And then the exit from the Mattress Firm as it is now onto Marmon. Okay? You're with me there,
I
right?
am definitely with you.
Okay, because right now, all the accesses to and from Popeyes is through, as we show here, is through the existing entrance and exit. Did you give her a copy of that?
No, but I can. We just.
Please.
got
The
these
traffic
today.
count.
Matt,
If you look, that is a date, or on the far right side, it is the date starting on a Wednesday and ending on the following Tuesday from 6/22 to 6/28 of 2022. And it shows the cars, the column on the left is the cars that entered the Mattress Firm lot from Spires. And the third column shows the Mattress Firm, cars entering the Mattress Firm lot from Marmon. And then they also had a counter on Spires Drive in that same vicinity that counted the cars just using Spires Drive, and one on Marmon using just Marmon, or just, yes, people just using Marmon. And this is, you'll see at the bottom there, the highlighter, the bold letter numbers. You'll see the quantities of vehicles for all four of the counters that they had on concerning Marmon and Spires. Okay? Okay. That doesn't count at all the estimate that was given to us for cars entering to go to Popeyes. That is not on it, okay? If you estimated at, I believe it was 300 cars per day coming to the facility, that's 300 inbound, 300 outbound per day. But if you just use the 300 per day, that's 2,100 cars per week, which is, if you can add that to the 434 and get 2,534, that's just half the trip to go to Popeyes. Right?
Right? That's
Okay.
the numbers.
And then you can have the same thing from Marmon. You could add 2,100 cars, vehicles per week there. That's saying that Popeyes is going to only have, or going to have 300 cars coming to their facility on any given day. Okay, which takes Marmon Drive up to 3,061 cars per day. Marmon between Peach Street and Spires.
I'm sorry, how many cars per day?
3,000.
No, I'm sorry, that's per week. That's a total per week.
Per week.
Yep.
Did I say per day?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
that's
sorry,
right.
3,061 per week. Sorry,
300 a day.
I'm old.
A little neighborhood.
Yes, granted. And that's only accounting for those two streets to get from Popeyes back onto one of the established highways. They didn't do any survey up the street here going towards the south, go up towards Hershey Road or anything like that, because it wasn't necessary. They took the timers right here, or counters right here next to, or behind the mattress firm. There still is no way to get going north on Peach Street or west on Interchange Road to go to Popeyes. You either have to be going south on Peach or east on Interchange Road to get there. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes, I am.
Which means that there will be probably the street south of Marmon would become, I think that's Avon, right?
Yes.
Would become a highly trafficked, climbing that hill. I think there's a hill there, Ralph, Peach Street, right?
Oh, yeah.
Climbing that hill in the wintertime in order to get back around and come the other way on Spires and then turn onto Marmon to get into the Popeyes there. Coming from the east, or sorry, from the west to the east on Interchange Road is not a problem because you can turn right there and it's not that, that's already in the traffic count. That's all I got to say about it. Anybody else have anything to say?
Well, one of our concerns, Mr. Chair, was that, as you mentioned, people heading north on Peach, going from the south, would either access Hershey Road or Avon Road and then come down Spires to get to this location.
They would have to.
Spires Drive is a residential neighborhood, which can't handle, or shouldn't have to handle that increased traffic.
Anyone else?
Well, and 2 years ago, we were concerned about the traffic count on these residential streets, as well as the condition of the streets. I mean, they're not
Exactly.
meant for a whole lot of traffic. So, I mean, what's your argument in favor of this, looking at all of these?
So first of all, with all due respect, because I understand completely what you're all saying, and I understand completely what your concern is. The reason I'm here, I represent an owner of a property who feels like he has made an investment in a property that is zoned properly. It is zoned C1. It is zoned for approved use for eating and drinking establishments. So, he's saying, we really need to try to get this approved because I invested in this property. I had the zoning to do these types of projects, and now I'm being told I can't do it. But because I too have a family and live in the neighborhood and respect everything you're all saying, I'm not here to cause any problems. I'm not here to challenge anyone or take someone on and say, hey, you really have to do this, and I don't really care what you think. That's not it at all. My point.
Don't kill the messenger. That's what you're saying.
Is just, well, you can kill me, it's okay. I have plenty of time, I can take it. But my point is, I see both sides of it, but that's why you are a planning commission, right? We were here 2 years ago. It wasn't me making the presentation. They had hired a consultant to come in and make the presentation for them. They are the ones that designed the preliminary sketch plan, although they are working with Mr. Welke's firm, and he would be the one doing all the final drawings if it moved into that next phase. But I just, I need to be here, I need to make this presentation a second time, and I respect whatever you decide to do.
When we first got it, I thought maybe there were some engineering or design changes that were going to be included in the new sketch plan, but if that's not the case, we're really back where we were 2 years ago.
Well, they're trying, but I think, it's kind of like trying to fix something that you only have one way to fix, right?
Yeah.
You may not be able to answer this, but is Popeye pushing this, or is just the owner of the property?
Popeyes is pushing it too, strongly. I mean, they really want to get on Peach Street.
Wasn't there some issues with the topography there too? With the amount that land drops down to,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
as a firm building?
As far as the site itself, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
or? I think it was leveled out when they demolished that portion of the building. I mean, I think as far as placing a building on there, you could do it. But there's obviously all the concerns that you mentioned about traffic and access to the site.
Okay, because I think I was trying to remember back then, I think there was some discussion on the slope of the land there, the hill coming down from Marmon.
Well, it's still on a hill.
No, I understand, yes. Okay, anyone else have any questions for her, or any comments to make? Just for her or for us? Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
may I, before you? Two things. First of all, I do want to point out to your earlier point, they do propose a retaining wall just north of Marmon and then going down Spire, so they probably are looking at cutting that back some so that they can level out their parking. If you see on the drawing, it's easiest with the one that's kind of whited out in your packet. I think it's sheet C3. You can see the retaining wall there, south and west of the parking lot. So that's probably how they would account for that. Second of all, and just for the benefit of everybody that's here to speak, I just want to clarify again what this process is that we're doing. They have come back to us again and asked and presented what's known as a sketch plan. A sketch plan is nothing that will actually be formally acted upon. It's something that they have come to the township to ask for our thoughts from the Planning Commission and then from the supervisors. Even if everybody loved the plan and the supervisors thought it would be great, they would still have to come back and submit a formal plan for approval. So everything you say, everything that the Planning Commission says will be forwarded to the supervisors, who will also give their comments to the developer on which way they feel they should go forward. So just want to let you know that there's not going to be a formal approval or denial. It's all just strictly for comments at this time. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sir. Please come up. Please come up here. Give us your name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Dean Moon. I live on 6023 Spires.
Can you say your last
Yeah.
name again?
Moon.
No, okay.
I was just wondering if you had an accident count for Spires and Interchange.
No.
Trust me, you take your life into your hands trying to turn up that street.
That's
'Cause
Spires.
everybody thinks you're gonna whoop around the corner. I mean,
He's right, I almost got wiped out there on Saturday.
You did.
Car in front of me, he just stopped to make that right turn up Spires, and everybody behind me is screeching like
Oh,
a
because
crazy.
everybody thinks that the turn.
They don't, most people don't even know that road is there.
To go around the bend and up Peach Street, huh? Huh. That's interesting.
I didn't think about that earlier, but yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have any? Yes, ma'am. Please come up there.
Irene Washock, and I live on the corner of Spires and Marmon. 6006 Spires. Few comments. Our roads are not paved. They are supposed to be paved this summer. Skeptic that I am, until I see it, it didn't happen.
Well, come on.
North, yeah, Popeyes, anybody coming northbound will have to come down Spires Drive to get to Popeyes.
Mhm.
There is no other egress or exit. There will be trash everywhere. If you've ever been around a fast food joint, people throw out their cups, they throw out their bags of garbage. I'm not picking up everybody else's garbage. The smell that fast food places permeate, especially when they're boiling out their fryers, is just enough to make you sick to your stomach. And I know that because my husband, who is now deceased, worked on commercial equipment. And I know when he was around, when they were boiling out fryers, he took his clothes off outside and they went immediately into the washer because they stunk.
Mhm.
We're a quiet residential neighborhood with lots of small children and dogs. This is the second time that they're trying to put this through. They must think we're stupid, then we're gonna change our minds. My suggestion is, let them build it on the Sears lot. There's an acre and something there,
Yeah, the old Sears building.
the old Sears. Let them go down there.
In and out, traffic lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want this in my neighborhood, across from my front yard, across from my house, with my great-grandchildren, grandchildren, and dogs. I don't want this to happen. And I would suggest, if they can't find any more appropriate, that somebody find a residential area where they live that they would want a Popeyes.
Thank you. Okay, we really, like I say, we're just here to look at the sketch plan tonight. Just hold on half a second here. And we will take your comments for sure, but, or questions. But we are just here to look at this thing again after 2 years and see if we agree with their sketch plan or not. You know what I mean? That just because we would say we would agree with what they want to do there, we're not giving approval or recommendation to anybody at this point for anything. All right? The ultimate responsibility or approval is given by the supervisors, who will act on our recommendations at some point in the future. Okay. Ma'am, come on up here.
My name is Michelle Corey, 1925 Marmon. I am right here.
All right.
So they would be looking right out my front door to them, which I don't want, but traffic is the main issue for us. I know they said they wanted to put cement barriers, so they have to take a certain turn out of the parking lot to get there. But the amount of space they have from those exits to the street is not very much. 1, maybe 2 cars can fit. And the cars that do come out of Zoomtan, that come onto Marmon, they don't look to the left for traffic. So when we're coming onto our street from Peach, we have to watch out for them because they have pulled out in front of us many times. When they are on Marmon and they're trying to take a right, they're not all the way over to the right of the street. They're more towards the middle, and we have to wait for them to get out. So there's that issue. And I do believe that unless that cement barrier, if you eventually do let them come in, is not high enough to actually prevent them, people in trucks and Jeeps are just going to go the wrong direction anyway to get where they want to go, because they're not going to wait their turn for 1 or 2 vehicles to take their place, especially when it's 300 cars a day that they're estimating. And then it's going to back up into the parking lot and cause issues there. And that parking lot does have a slant in it. I don't know if you've driven in there in the wintertime. It is really bad. So it's just going to make Zoomtan and Mattress Firm angry too, because it's going to put traffic right through their parking lot also.
Is the driveway off of Spires into that parking lot, that sloped also, or just the one off of Marmon?
That is not sloped, I don't believe.
Okay, the one off of Marmon's got a pretty steep slope to it, I
Yes,
know
it
that.
does.
Okay,
But it goes for both exits, that only like 1 or 2 cars can fit before it gets to the road.
sure.
So it's just gonna back right
Yep.
up and
Okay.
make a huge mess inside, and then they're gonna jump the curb.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Come on up.
Amanda Corey, 1925 Marmon. There currently is a barrier right here. But just as a comment on the height of barriers, I have seen cars take a left off of Marmon onto Peach and go right over that barrier. And that's a busy road. So people would definitely do that on Marmon, a not busy road. And I haven't seen their sketches, but I don't know how close the retaining wall would have to be to the road, because it is it has a drop off right there. Enough that they know they need a retaining wall. I'm just not sure how effective it would be. And since the 2 years, more children have moved into the neighborhood. So a concern would be the cars going quickly through, because people that don't live in the neighborhood that do use it as a cut through already, they go over 25.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, that's the only two items on the agenda for tonight. We will get together here and talk about these two things here. Well, one of them anyway, subdivision plan. And if you, tomorrow, if you want to stick around, fine, but you know, tomorrow after the clock, you can call the engineering department and find out what the results were.
Sounds good, thank you again for your time.
Okay, so let's handle that one first here.
Thank you.
All right. It is the subdivision plan to show the creation of the parcel 4A, a .06 acre lot from 5717 Vicky Court with a residual lot of .25 acres. Parcel 4A is to become an integral part of 5731 Vicky Court, creating a .38 acre lot along the east line of Vicky Court, south of West 57th and Track 343.
Make a motion for approval.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Adding the integral part language
Yes.
into the motion.
Yes. Anyone else have? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. All right, then the Popeyes sketch plan. Do we have a recommendation for, any kind of recommendation for them as far as the sketch plan goes to eliminate any kind of traffic congestion or anything in that neighborhood?
It seems to me like the November 11th, 2020 comments are still valid, and that it's just not a good spot for Popeyes, especially because of the traffic problem. And they're all the same things that are still a problem from the original November 11th, 2020.
And I don't think there's anything they could do to alleviate the problem. I mean,
There isn't.
there isn't.
And all the comments mentioned here by the board and by the public will be in the minutes going to the supervisors, so they'll get to read.
This is just not a good fit at all.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But they make a good sandwich.
You what?
I think the problem is the guy who bought the property probably bought it sight unseen. She said he lives in Florida.
Yeah.
He probably bought the property sight unseen. It looks like, oh, it's going to be a great spot, but
Well,
if you don't know the topography of the land or
if you look at
anything.
the traffic count on Peach Street and
Well, but he
Interchange Road,
probably,
yeah, it sounds great.
it does,
You gotta
yeah,
be able to get there and get back out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't, but you can't even get to this place technically off of Peach Street. You have to go under another street just to get there.
Yeah, it's not like you're
You know?
pulling right off of Peach Street into their driveway. You gotta,
And I forgot about that barrier in the middle, right there.
yeah.
And if it backs up like Chick-fil-A, ooh,
And she's right. I've seen cars go over that little hump.
Yep. Okay, you know where we stand, I think, on this issue.
Right, she had a question, I guess.
Not that I can think of.
I don't think there's any way they could put another entrance in off of Peach Street. I think if there were, Mattress Firm would have done it. You know, So, I mean,
Okay, any other questions or anything, folks? We're good?
just stay tuned for part
Unless you want me
three.
to make some comments. I
Have at
have
it.
no,
Do you-
I have
You have any
I have nothing
comments?
to add. I have
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
You need a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion or entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There you go. You can have your pen
Any
back.
discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Go to the supervisors.
We are
Yeah.
adjourned at
Go to
I don't think I have to
go
tell
to
you that.
supervisors